All right, so now let's talk about loading and running MATLAB. Let me get a quick drink of water. The recommended procedures are a little bit different for each HPC center. For UPPMAX and HPC2N, it's recommended you need to use the module system to load MATLAB, and then you can either start the GUI or the command line in the terminal. At LUNARC, what's recommended is the desktop on-demand menu, but there are also interactive and non-interactive command line options. And I'll demonstrate the desktop on-demand a little bit later. Most HPC centers in Sweden use the same or similar module systems for their software. The difference lies in which modules are installed and what versions are available and how they're named. The general examples below will be the same for most or all HPC centers in Sweden. Although the specific names for the modules will vary a bit. So the objectives of this session are to teach you to load MATLAB and run MATLAB scripts and start the MATLAB graphical interface. If you go back to this website, if you need a little cheat sheet on the module system, again, it's right here. So that has all the stuff with module spider, module avail, and all of that stuff. Again, note that the module systems at UPPMAX, HPC2N, and LUNARC are a bit different. While all of the modules at UPPMAX that are not directly related to bioinformatics can be viewed by using ML avail, modules at HPC2N and LUNARC can be hidden unless one has loaded a prerequisite like GCC. There are a lot of modules at LUNARC, for instance, that require both GCC and an open MPI distribution. And you would need to have both of them loaded in order to load the prerequisite module and also to make certain other modules visible. It's recommended that you use module spider to see all the modules at HPC2N and LUNARC. And ML avail for those that are available to load given what you already have loaded. So use module spider to figure out how to load another module, and ML avail to figure out what is available given what you've already loaded. There is no system in MATLAB that comes, there's no system version of MATLAB that comes preloaded like Python. But ML load MATLAB with no release date will load the latest release regardless. And the latest release, as with all programs, is periodically all programs are periodically updated. So the latest release is subject to change. So if you want your code to stay reproducible and to keep working, you need to be sure to load the same release throughout a given project. So what I will do is I will actually launch a terminal session. Whoa. So I'll briefly demonstrate one on Kebnekaise. So that's HPC2N. So I will oops, come on. Okay, that might be a little bit much. Let me try and move this. So that what I'm in right now is the on-demand applications menu. So I will show you, do a CPU terminal, and I'll give it 30 minutes. Let's start that. So then I will show you an example with the Kebnekaise system. So let me come up here and So in order to log into UPPMAX, I need to type in this. And so I will type that here. Is the terminal here nice and big and you can see everything, right?
Yes.
What's wrong with my laptop? My keyboard all of a sudden.
So what you will do now is to log into UPPMAX from your Cosmos compute node.
Oh, this is not good. Neither one of my keyboards are working. Okay, I need to turn off my video feed and see if that helps. Where's those tools? Okay, stop video. No. What's wrong with this thing? I'm sorry, my keyboard is not, neither one of my keyboards is responding right this moment.
Okay.
Let me unplug the webcam and plug the keyboard back directly into the laptop.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I can prepare if I have to take over screen share. Let's see here.
Not working. And we have to restart try another terminal. No, still not working. All right, well, in the time remaining, I guess what I will have to do is I'll show you how to start MATLAB in with LUNARC. So the way that if you want to start the GUI, you go to this applications menu, scroll down to MATLAB, and then you can look at this menu of MATLAB options. So these are the different releases that are available. The regular versions that don't have anything in parentheses afterwards, those run on Intel nodes with GPU, with both CPU and GPU partitions. That allows for more graphical support. The CPU versions run on CPU only nodes. There are a lot more of those, and they run faster. So if you can use those and you don't have to do any sort of graphical work in MATLAB, so like you don't have to do any plotting, for instance, the CPU options are actually a nice option because they give you more cores. Of course, the drawback is that the graphical support is limited. There's also these options that say HEP, CPU. Those are for a private group. So if you're not in the high energy physics group, don't use those. But basically, if you don't know if you're in that group, don't use it. So I am going to start the CPU version, and I will run. So this that just popped up is the GFX launcher or graphics launcher. This is an interface developed by our own department head to help you. And what this does is that this is the graphical interface for desktop on demand, and that allows you to start the GUI on a backend node. So instead of tying up one of the three login nodes, this will start MATLAB on a compute node, so that you have more resources available, and again, they won't be tying up the login notes. And this graphical interface lets you set a time for how long do you want to use this GUI. So that's the wall time. You can change your requirements. Right here it says 4 tasks per node, but if you click this little gear icon, you can change that. You can change the job name. You can change tasks per node. You can change how much memory each node uses, or each core. You can change the memory specification for each core. If you select this, it'll occupy an entire node, and the number of tasks per node will disappear, as you just saw. You can also click this use reservation, and what will come up is the name of either a reservation that's associated with your current project, if you have one, or in this case, because of the course, there's this RPJM course reservation. Click OK. Feature none. So this feature here, this is where you can so resources where you select the node. Feature is where you can select additional sort of resource partitions. And of course, the project is the project name. This is your account number. Once you've set everything here, you can just click Start. And it turns green when the queuing has, when your job is made to the queue, and then you can see it starts. So you can see this little Matlab loading screen. And here you can see some work that I've already been doing. The Matlab GUI does continue to keep your the Matlab GUI saves your history. And so whatever you were working on when you last closed it, unless you close the files here with these little X's here under the editor, then it will pull up whatever file. Then it will pull up whatever file you were working on last. If you close it at this X instead of here under the editor. Let me see if I can type at this command line. No. All right, this is not good. What I may have to do is that for the command line interface, I will probably have to turn the I'll probably have to turn it over to Bjorn to demonstrate that, because I cannot get my keyboard to work right now. Something has gone wrong with my hardware.
Mm-hmm. So shall I continue?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Close this. Oh, right. Before I end with that, for MATLAB and some other applications, it will sort of keep running in the background for a couple of minutes. It takes a few seconds to stop. If it won't stop automatically, you can just click the stop button. But once you've closed out, you do want to make sure that your application is stopped so that you free up the resources for other people.